Okay, hello. Welcome everybody. Tuesday, day 2 of our Finding Joy Masterclass, how to align your business and your life for more power, more peace, and more profit. Let me just get a thumbs up for my team that we are live in both Facebook and YouTube. Let's just do a check here. Okay, we're thumbs up. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. Welcome to today. Again, this is day 2 of our class, and I know that we have some new people joining us today. So as you come onto the broadcast, wherever you're coming in from, whether it's Facebook, our private Facebook group, or whether it's on YouTube, please log into the chat and tell us who you are. Hello, Sherry. All right, Sherry from Ohio. What part of Ohio? I was born and raised in Charleston, West Virginia. Would love to know what part. I'm kind of familiar with Ohio. So welcome, Redondo Beach. All right, so let me just make a quick note here from my Redondo Beach. It shows you as a Facebook user, and the reason why is because you need to give StreamYard permission to show your name if you're coming into us from Facebook. So if you can just grant StreamYard permission, that would be really great. And Lynn, I know, is putting a comment in Facebook about that. So StreamYard is the live streaming software that we're using to come to you live here and on YouTube. And they need permission on Facebook to share your name. And we want to get your name because today's a giveaway day, ladies. I am going to be giving away one of my Finding Joy Everyday planners. I'll tell you more about that later. So own your morning, own your day. This is a fantastic planner. I'll tell you more about it in a bit, but we need to know who's coming in and share your name. So please give permission. I see Facebook user from Tempe, Redondo Beach, Pasadena. Yay! So excited to have you all here with me on this masterclass. So again, I know we have some new people. We're going to do some giveaways. We're going to dive into the ask portion of our alignment. Hey, hello, Sherry. And Toledo. I know where Toledo is. I know where Toledo, Ohio is. So welcome. We're so glad that you've joined us. But I want to really quickly, because we have new people joining us, just take a moment and share a little bit about myself, because some of you are very new to me. And so I want to just give you why, this title sounded good to me, but who is Joy and why should I be listening? And here it is in a nutshell. I've been an entrepreneur for 30 plus years. I'm saying 30 plus. I'm not going to tell you exactly how many, but over 30, 30 plus years. So here's what you know about a statement about doing anything, right? Having a business, being married, having kids that are over the age of 30, a lot about life. I've seen it all. I've pretty much seen everything that can happen in entrepreneurship. And, I've made a lot of mistakes, which is why I'm very passionate about doing these master classes and this training, because I want more women to learn from my mistakes and become more aligned, what I've learned. I've also built and scaled several businesses, some to 6 figures and one to 7 figures. So I understand what it takes to build a business. On a personal note, I've also dealt with my own personal challenges as a woman. I have 2 grown children. They're now in college. For those of you who may or may not have kids and you're still looking to have children, I'm your poster child. I had my first at 40 and my second at 42. I've been married to my husband. I'll be married to him 25 years. I cannot believe that, this October the 10th. So, and we've had a lot of illness in our family. So I've dealt with a lot of challenges. My husband has kidney disease. I actually donated a kidney to my husband some time ago because he was really in need of a healthy kidney. And we have a daughter who is very much an athlete, and she's gone through multiple traumatic injuries playing sports, has had several surgeries. I won't get into that today. I've lost both my parents in the last 5 years. Why do I tell you this? I tell you this because I'm a real person. I've had successes and I've had failures and I've had a lot of heartache. So I'm coming to you just completely with no ego, with humility, because I'm here to serve and I'm here to help. So that just gives you a little update on who I am. And oh, thank you, Sherry. What a great training. I really appreciate that. The welcome. Fantastic. Pity versus power. I'm so glad that you watched that video. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. So thank you so much for all your comments. I love this. Please do give StreamYard your permission if you're on Facebook, because we want to award a lucky winner today with one of my Finding Joy Everyday Planners. Okay, so let's dive in here. I want to do a quick recap of yesterday. And if you see me occasionally look away, yes, Mickey, I see you. Yes, good job, girl. I see you. If you see me look away for a second, it's because I actually got up this morning and made a lot of notes about this class today. I want to give you all of the information. I want to give you everything I possibly can to help you align your business. So I've got some notes, so I will look away occasionally to make sure I'm not forgetting any gold nuggets. But let's take a quick recap of yesterday. You know, why the heck do we want to align our businesses anyway, right? Well, first of all, it's how you're going to find more joy in your life and in your business. But also, when you're aligned, people pick up on that. When you're aligned in your business, you become magnetic. You become a magnet for new business. You become a magnet for relationships. When you have an aligned life period, you're living an intentional life. You are someone, and so very few people are. You know, I'm sorry to say, we've got, you know, a great group here today, and I wish we had, you know, 4 times that many, because so many people need to hear this message. So you want to align because you want to stand out in a crowd. You want to stand out and be someone that people want to be associated with, and that they want to do business with, and they want to buy services from, and they want to buy products from. And that's part of it. You know, people will tell you, well, you need to have a great website. Well, you do. You do need people need to be able to find you. You do need to have your social media channels, because that's another way people find us today. But you must align so that you'll stand out and they can see you're different. Oh, I love this, Sherry. Yesterday's class helped me discover a few things already. Fantastic. See, and we've heard from in our private Facebook group. I know a few people commented there. And Mickey, thank you. Stillness was powerful for me today. Stillness is powerful for us all every day. So let's just do a quick recap of what are the 3 steps to align, because I know we have some new people. First of all, the first step is awareness. And we took a really deep dive on awareness yesterday, right? What is awareness? It's the understanding and the knowledge that something is happening inside of you. It's happening inside of you. Not your neighbor, not your sister, not your follower on social media, right? Not someone else in your industry that you're looking at to see how are they doing it. They seem so much more successful than I am. Here's a quick tip. The number of followers and likes that someone has on their profile page or on their Facebook, their Instagram, and their LinkedIn has no relation whatsoever to how much income they're earning and how much profit they're taking home. I want you to hear that. I want you to take it in. And because what we can do, another trigger, remember I talked about some triggers yesterday. I talked about fear and forgiveness, and I talked about tolerations, which we're going to take a deep dive on today. When we are feeling judged or criticized, or we're thinking, you know, my business isn't worthy enough. I'm not doing well enough. Look what so-and-so's doing. You're falling into a hidden trigger, and it's keeping you from your awareness. No one knows what's going on in the lives of other people. And I will tell you that you just continue to build your following, and you continue to build your email list. Email is not dead, ladies, by the way. Email is so powerful. And so continue to build your email list. These are just little tips I'm giving you along the way. And let's not give all of our attention and all of our creativity and all of our genius and all of our energy to what other people are doing or how many followers or likes they have, because that has nothing to do with how much money is coming into their account for their business. And I promise you, after 30 plus years, I can tell you it's the truth. So pay attention to aligning with what's going on inside of you, the awareness inside of you, and do what you're doing, and you will be on your way to achieving whatever dreams and goals that you have for the next level of your business. So that's awareness. And awareness is the first step. And we have to practice awareness in order to ask and take action. So in the awareness, we've been working on that and we'll keep working on that. But today we're going to get into the ask portion of asking those essential questions. But another quick review of the vehicle. Remember I talked about the vehicle yesterday? If you're driving a vehicle that's out of alignment, how you've got to hold on with both hands because it's so hard to turn the steering wheel. I'm just reminding you again that it's so good that you're here, and this class is just going to keep getting better all week because I have so much great content to roll out to you. I want your vehicle, which is your business. I want your vehicle to move easily and to have that power, and you to be able to take one hand off the steering wheel, right? One hand off the steering wheel to relax, or take a phone call, or turn on the radio, or whatever. I don't want you doing this every day in your business. You know why? Because energy is finite. Our energy is not on will call. So it's finite. So we want to use it in the best way possible to build our businesses, okay? And to build intentional lives. All right. So I just wanted to reach out about that. And one quick check-in about your Finding Joy focused activity from yesterday. Would love to hear from you. How was that? Which journal prompt did you choose? I'm just curious. Did you choose the one on fear? Did you choose the one on forgiveness? Would love to hear from anyone about what was revealed to you when you chose that prompt and you actually wrote about it for 5 minutes. What was revealed to you? I'd love to hear that if anybody wants to share as we're moving on here. I'd love to hear what people get out of that, because that stillness and journaling time really sets us up for the day. And I'll tell you a quick story. Talking about vehicles. So I'm in Park City, Utah right now, one of my favorite, probably my most favorite place on earth. And I feel so blessed to be here. But I noticed something yesterday when I went out to run an errand after our class. I noticed something was leaking I noticed under the car. And so I thought, wow, I've got to drive back to California, right, next week. So I've got to figure this out. I am so happy that I practiced my awareness this morning before I went to take the car into the mechanic, because it was exactly what I was talking to you about yesterday. Case in point, I want to share it with you. So today, when I went to the mechanic, I talked to you about this vehicle, and I go in and they said, you know what, it won't be more than an hour. And I came prepared. I brought my laptop, I brought my notes, I brought everything. I was actually working on this class. And I go in to sit down in their waiting area. And what do you think was in the waiting area? What do you think was there? It was like this 55-inch television set blaring at me with the news, with the media. Remember I shared that with you yesterday, that we should all take a break from media? I couldn't believe it. And just because I wanted to see if what I'm telling you is right, I actually sat there for about 5 minutes and I listened. And every single topic was what? It was a dramatic event. People losing their lives. Sad. All bad news. No good news. I never heard one piece of good news in 5 minutes. So you know what I did? I got up and I moved to another place to wait for my car. It wasn't as comfortable. The chairs weren't as comfortable. I put in my headset because I'm not going to listen to this, right? I refuse to listen to this. I'm going to create the awareness for my day, not what CNN or any other channel wants me to have. You got it? So just let's resist that social media. First thing, let's resist those emails. Let's resist the media, and let's get in touch with what's happening inside of us. And that's going to help grow your business. All right. So before we dive in to where do we find the journal prompts? Okay. So I had shared them yesterday at the end of the live stream. However, your journal prompts were also in your replay email that went out yesterday afternoon around, I believe, 4 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, somewhere around that, 4 p.m. Pacific. So that's where the journal prompts were, and you can look back at those. All right, fantastic. Let's dive into, before we dive into these essential questions, I want to talk about 5 areas of your business, and I wanted you to ask yourself as I read these statements: Am I more aligned or out of alignment in this area. And we're going to look at 5 areas. We're going to look at your mindset. We're going to look at your strategy, your leadership, your decision-making, and your time management. Okay, we're going to look at those 5 areas just real quick. And this is an assessment that I give to my private clients, and I'm sharing 5 of those statements for you because I really want you to ask yourself how you're doing here. All right. So here's the first one on mindset. I'm going to read you 2 statements. Okay. So when it comes to mindset, are you someone who says, I say yes to everything, I can do it all for everyone, right? Or when it comes to mindset, do you think I choose what I feel is aligned for me? Here's the most important part. And I say no often. I choose what is aligned for me and I say no often. Okay. Ladies, I want to share with you that if you're truly ready to align your business for what truly matters most to you, and that's what people will feel and that's what they will buy from you, we have to say no more than we say yes. Love that, Sherry. Releasing fear. She's talking about the journal prompt from yesterday. Fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff. Love all this stuff. Growth, growth, growth. So getting back to this mindset, if you really, really want to realize your next level of greatness, and that's the other thing I want to share with you, you all have another level of greatness within you. No matter how much success that you've had, no matter where you are right now, you have another several levels probably of greatness within you. And I know you want that because you're here. You're here. You're showing up every day. So I know you want it. Okay. So think about, what is it I've been saying yes to lately that I want to say no to more often? And if you love to say yes to things because you really like to help people, here's an easy out for you to start getting used to saying no more often. When someone asks you to do something, and if it's not, a hell yes right away, you might say, you know what, can I get back to you on that in a couple of days? And that will give you time to come back and think about it rather than just jumping in and saying yes. Okay. All right, good. Oh, let's see. What's Katya have to say here? I journaled about fear and everything that's come up. I already know well, but it was interesting in the feelings. Yes. Yeah, I want to be the woman with those fabulous feelings of joy and happiness. Katya, you're on the way. You are here. I love this. So beautiful. And thank you for being so transparent, everyone. Thank you for sharing. Love that so much because it helps everybody. Your comments, I'm giving you really great information, but it's your comments that really help people feel like they're in a supportive community. And that's what we're all about here at our company. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. So we talked about mindset. Let's talk about strategy, right? Okay, here's one way of looking at strategy. I have a million different projects. Everything is a priority, right? Or I always ask myself, if I could only do one thing today, what would it be, right? We can't do it all. We cannot do it all. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this in the essential questions. It's not about everything's a priority. We don't want to have everything's not on fire, right? We want to choose where we're pointing our fire hose, right? Especially if you live in California or some of these other areas, because we don't have enough water anyway. So, you want to make sure that you're using your water wisely. Let's look at leadership. Okay, leadership. If you're here and you just have not been able to sort of bring on the right team members, you're having trouble with your team members, or I call them team members. Some people call them employees, but I feel like we're all a team here. We're working together. If you're having trouble, let me ask you, how do you answer this question? I micromanage everything and everyone, or sometimes I just check out entirely. I go missing in action and I don't respond to my team's questions. Okay. I've been working with women business owners and entrepreneurs for over 17 years. And I will tell you that in my work with them, we spend a lot of time on this. So this is something where every single person can grow because this micromanage or just MIA, or I call it drive-by delegation, doesn't set you up to attract the A+ team. The other statement is, I check in at an agreed upon time to see how it's going and how I might be able to remove obstacles. I want to share something with you. My team has been with me for over a decade. My team members, we've been together for over a decade. We could literally finish each other's sentences, I think. Why is that? It's not that I'm something special, but here's what it is. They're geniuses in what they do. That's why they're on the team. They're geniuses, and they know all about what I don't know about. And so I don't try to micromanage that because I don't know what to do. That's why I have them on the team, right? A+ team players, they come with skills, they come with knowledge, and they come with a get up and go to attitude. You don't need to be looking over them all the time. Now, people need to be trained. People need to be trained into how you do things and what your company's about. But if you're micromanaging after someone has learned how to do something in your company, you probably won't keep them long. Why? Because you're taking away their power. You're taking away their confidence. You may be taking away their self-esteem. So we want to empower people to run their projects, run their business, run whatever they're working on their own, but still you have to be available to answer their questions. That's the other part of it. That's the flip side of leadership. We have to be there to answer the questions. People are smart. People want to do a good job, but sometimes they don't always know the answer. So if you're struggling a little bit with team, I want you to look at that and kind of ask yourself, who am I right now? And how am I operating? Okay. All right. Now, decision making. How are we doing with decision making? And we're going to talk a little bit more about this in a few minutes and dive deeper through the essential questions. Decision making can be challenging for people, but it's also a big part of what holds us back from growing our businesses, right? So does this sound more like you? I vacillate for weeks or months. Everything is on hold. So do you just sit with things for a long time? Is it harder for you to make a decision? Or here you go. I evaluate the pros and cons. I choose, I course correct. Okay. I evaluate the pros and cons. I choose, I make a decision, and then I course correct. I've got some great stories for you here on this. Very, very important. One is my husband and I, they always say opposites attract. I don't know if they do or not, but we're definitely opposites. It'll be 25 years in October. And my husband takes a long time to make a decision. I mean, it's just the way it is. When you ask my husband a question to make a decision on something, he is not going to come out of the gate with a decision. I, on the other hand, I do not like to sit on decisions. I like to get the information. I like to get the best information I can. I like to decide, and then I like to course correct. All right. So which one are you? And if you are, someone who takes longer to make decisions, I will tell you this. I will tell you that this daily ritual of awareness that I'm teaching you, that you're learning this week, is going to help you in your decision making. Because you begin to become aligned, anchored, and grounded in what matters to you. And when we're clear and intentional about what really matters to us, we can make decisions faster, right? We can make them faster because we know the answers. We feel it at our core. But so many times we're out of alignment with our core. We don't really know what we think, but that's why this awareness is helping. All right. I'm real transparent. I think you're getting that by now. Let me tell you something that happened just last week. So when we decided that we were going to do this masterclass with you, we decided to go with a software called StreamYard. Right. And there are many live streaming softwares out there. So many. I don't have time to evaluate all those. So we look at the first ones that seemed like they could work the best. And we went with it. I made the decision in the end to go with StreamYard. Now listen to what happened. Remember I said course correct? When we first announced this masterclass, it was going to be on Zoom and YouTube. I'm just telling you guys that I want to share everything here. I'm very transparent because this is the only way you're going to learn. We said, okay, we're going to do it on Zoom and we're going to do it on YouTube. Well, guess what? We found out last week when we got into StreamYard as a team that it does work with Zoom, but you've got to jump through a lot more hoops. And I I am a person, I don't like complexity. And by the way, if in your business, if you make your offers, your services, or your products, if everything's too complex, people will not buy. You know why? It's not because you don't have a good product or service. A confused mind says no. So I said, team, we're not adding layers of complexity. We're just going to go to and create a private Facebook group, which I'm so thrilled about now to have you all in our Finding Joy Everyday Facebook group. It's another way for me to connect with you, communicate with you, and be in community with you. So see, it all turned out, but I had to do a course correction real fast last week. It's like, oh, okay, it's not going to work. Okay, what can we do now? So that's what I want you to do. I want you to get to a place where through your awareness to say, oh, okay, made a mistake there, didn't work, but what can we do? All right. I hope everybody's following me. Please ask questions. I see a Facebook user that says, I make the decision and then course correct as I go. Love that. You trust your intuition. Love to know who we're hearing from. It has you down as a Facebook user. So you just have to give StreamYard permission. Loving your comments. They're so great. Okay. So that was decision making, right? Time management. Woo, that's a big one, right? Time management. So here are the two statements. Which one do you identify with most? I practice procrastination. I know that everything will magically work out. That reminds me of my kids when they were in school, when they were still at home and not in college, and I had slightly a little more control. My kids always thought the homework was magically going to work out, and I would always say to them, everything takes longer than you think. You better get started. If it says it's an hour, it's 2, right? So the better statement to ask is, instead of everything will magically work out, I procrastinate. How about I plan, I prepare, I expect delays, so I add in extra time. I plan, I prepare. Now let's take a look at this for a minute. I've got real-time examples for you. What if my team and I procrastinated and we waited till last Friday to get prepared for you this week with StreamYard? Oh boy, would we have been in trouble, because everybody would have had a Zoom link and there would have been no Zoom, right? We started more than a week ago preparing for you. You know why? Because we know after 30 plus years in business, I know, my team knows, we know there's going to be problems. So we've got to start sooner than later. All right. I hope this is making sense. Give me some feedback if you have questions on this. But those are 5 areas in your business that you want to look at periodically and say, okay, am I in alignment there, or am I out of alignment? Your mindset, your strategy, your leadership, your decision-making, and your time management. Those are 5 areas that are really important. All right. Okay. So now let's dive into some of the essential questions. Let me go back to my notes here really quickly. Yeah. Let's dive into our essential questions. And I'm going to ask you some of these essential questions. And the first set are around tolerations. And this is about really what matters most. Not what matters. What matters most? I really want you to think about that. What matters most to you in your business? Because if you can gain awareness around what matters most to you in your business, people will feel that. They will feel the authenticity. They'll feel the passion around it, the energy around it, and they will be attracted to you rather than someone else. Again, I shared with you yesterday that I have countless people that I've done business with that actually, it was the same product or service as someone else, actually cost me more, but they were passionate. They were intentional. They were aligned, and I could tell those were the people that I wanted to do business with. So here is one of the first essential questions, and then we're going to break it down into little layers. First one is, what am I tolerating right now in my business? What am I tolerating right now in my business? I mean, that word tolerations, I'm tolerating, it just means you can barely, when I think of the word tolerating or toleration, it means I can just barely get by through the day because this thing is like this heavy, laid up books or bricks or cloud over my head, right? I can barely, because it's a toleration. It's something I'm having to put up with day after day after day. So ask yourself, so let's dive a little deeper. I'm going to make this a little bit deeper. What's a toleration that irritates me repeatedly? Okay, so I'm diving deeper on that toleration question. What's a toleration that irritates me repeatedly? I'm going to give you some thinking prompts. Could it be something as simple as I'm tolerating a messy desk? I can't find anything in my office because I just haven't taken the time to clean my office, right? So ask yourself, what is it? Because when we have a messy area that we're working in or a messy desk, that really creates chaotic thoughts and not clarity, right? And so what is it that you're tolerating repeatedly in your business? All right, write that down. What is it? Is it a printer that only works part-time? Here's another thing. You'll be surprised. I wanted to get to Michelle's comment. That's okay. I'm going to get to that in just a minute. Thank you so much, team. It could be, I had someone recently, they just haven't updated their computer, their laptop, their desktop. They've been working on something that's like 7 years old. Well, that's a toleration. You're running out of storage. So you can't store all your things. So things are getting deleted. Things are misplaced. It's slow. It's keeping you from scaling, from growth, from moving, getting that momentum. It can be something really, really small, or it could be something really, really big. So ask yourself, what is it that I'm tolerating, and it's repeatedly, and it's irritating me? I want to get to Michelle's comment. You're on the opposite ends of some of these. Spot on with some leadership, decision making, but on time management. I love that you're so transparent, Michelle. I practice procrastination. Yes. Okay. So my hope for you, my real hope is, if you're in between, this is good. You know why? Because it means that you're really soaring in alignment in some areas, and you've got a few areas where you're out of alignment, but you're here and you're working on it. And I know you two very well, so I know you're working on it. And so it's really about looking at, I really want the both of you to take in this question today about what matters most. What matters most? Because if we can really get to the core, the awareness about what matters most in my business, what's really going to move that needle forward in the direction I want to go, then you can start to chip away at some of those priorities, and then you'll start to see more clearly. So we can keep talking about that, but it's about what matters most. All right, so let's get back to these the tolerations. I asked what you're tolerating, and it's really irritating you. Please write that down. The second deeper question around tolerations is, what is the cost? What's it costing you to manage this daily toleration? What's the cost there? Well, I'll tell you, it's not just financial. It can be financial. The cost to you could be financial over time. One of the things that I work with my clients all the time on is, if you look at your business like a vehicle, we've been talking about that, like a vehicle, it gets leaks, right? It gets an oil leak. It might get a leak here. It might get a leak here, fluid coming out there. These leaks, this just means money's leaking right out. And if it's not tended to, guess what? It turns into a huge bill later, right? So it might be financial, but I'll tell you something else. I think it's costing you more, maybe, than money. It's probably costing you your emotional energy. It's probably costing you maybe your physical energy. I've had clients before where these tolerations are masking in health issues. They start having health problems because they're tolerating something that they just haven't taken a stand on. Your emotional energy. When our emotional energy is not feeling at its best, if we don't have that awareness around our emotional energy, it will keep us from our highest level of contribution. It will keep us from our highest level of creative thought. So this is real important, and I'm here to support you on this, here in the Facebook group, anywhere. I'm here to support you. I really want you to get this. What's it costing you? Write down the cost, whether it's financial, health, or emotional, and let's start thinking about how important it is that we take that step. So the next question is really going to help. What is the one next step? One. Notice I said one. I didn't say 2, 3, 4, 5. I said one. What is one next step I can take? I can means you can do it. It's not something that, You'd have to go back to school and learn. It's not something that would take you days and days and days. What's the one next step I can take immediately? And immediately means in 30 minutes or less. What's the one next step I can take in 30 minutes or less? Maybe when we finish this live stream masterclass today, maybe it's later on today, maybe it's tomorrow morning. One step, I really invite you to take one step to begin to remove this toleration. What's that one next step? You'll be surprised. You're going to be surprised, because when you take that one step, is it making a phone call? Is it reaching out to someone who you know could help you in your business? Is it, but you just haven't done it? You're resisting it because you'd rather, for whatever reason, you're tolerating your business where it is right now rather than where it could be. That's the other thing. And I want you to open your mind this week. I'm telling you, you have such greatness inside of you. There's so many things that you haven't reached yet in your business. I'm telling you because I've lived it. I've been in periods of my life where I didn't know that I had a next level of greatness. And then through practicing this alignment, it's like a whole new world opened up to me. And it can happen for you too, because I'm just an ordinary person striving to do extraordinary work. I'm going to say that again. I am an ordinary woman, but I strive every day to bring extraordinary service to women. Okay. So if I can do it, you can do it. So just know that this is so valuable, and really listen in here to what I'm sharing with you. So I want you to write down that toleration. I want you to write down what it's costing you. Okay. And then I want you to write down the next step. And I want to hear from you. Okay. I want to hear from you. What's that step that you can take right now in 30 minutes or less to start? Because here's what happens when you take that step. It starts a domino. When you make that one decision to remove a toleration and you do it, and you see that like some of the stress and pressure is off of you from doing that, it's like a domino. Because see, the more success we have in life, ladies, the more success we think we can have. And that's why I want to get these little wins for you today. I love that, Gail. Toleration's hitting home. Telling you, choose one. Now, I will recommend, thanks, that's great, Gail. I'm glad you asked. Just choose one. Choose the one that's costing you the most. Choose the one that's irritating you the most. And then I do recommend, I love Gail asked this question. I do recommend that you take the time to make a list of your tolerations, your top tolerations. Make a list and then set a deadline to remove them all. Okay. And it doesn't have to be by next week. Give yourself some grace and ease. It could be, you might say, I've got a toleration right now that I'm dealing with. Honestly, I'm so transparent. It's in my mother's estate after we lost my mom. But you know what? My sister and I, we've set a deadline to remove this toleration, June 30th. And do you know, because we set the deadline of June 30th, do you know that already 2 things have happened in 1 week? Yeah, this stuff works, man. Everything I'm telling you, I would never tell you anything that I haven't done. I only share with you what I have done, where I've been successful and where I've made a mistake. I don't do theory here. Don't believe in it. Don't want it. And that's what a lot of people do. I'm only talking about what I've done. But when you take that one step, you're going to start to see a domino effect. Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. Let me get back to where we're going here. See, I get so excited about the stuff I get lost in my notes. All right. So these are your tolerations. Another great question that my clients have a love-hate relationship with. As a matter of fact, sometimes they're just like, oh gosh, here she comes with that one. Is another great essential question to ask yourself when you've been practicing awareness is, what am I pretending not to know? Okay, what am I pretending not to know? We all fool ourselves from time to time, don't we? Get a little sip of water. What is it you're pretending not to know? Are you pretending not to know that maybe you're not, maybe connecting with enough people to build your business? Are you pretending not to know that maybe you're not trying to schedule enough Zoom coffees or going to a networking event if you're going out to live events, which I know a lot of people are now? So there's something. What are you pretending not to know about your leadership? And I love, Michelle and Mickey, they outed themselves. That's what I love about this group. He said, you know what? I'm procrastinating. I'm a procrastinator. So see, that was probably something that sometimes they pretend not to know, right? Because they have all these priorities. And you know what? Listen, if you're entrepreneurial and you're creative, and everybody here is, you're going to have a lot of ideas, ladies. I mean, that's just who we are. We're entrepreneurs. We're going to have a lot of ideas, but it's about honing in and choosing the ones that are going to move the needle forward to bring you closer to your goals. I mean, I got to tell you, there are so many things that I think about doing, but when I practice my awareness and I ask myself, is this idea going to take me closer to my goal or possibly take me further away from it? And I'm real honest with myself. Maybe I journal about that. Then I start to understand that it's a great idea, but it's not for me. That's for somebody else, right? Okay. Love to hear from you. Keep those comments coming. I just love it. Okay. Now, so those are the big questions for your business around tolerations. What's it costing you? What can I do? What am I pretending not to know? I also want to give you some daily questions, 2 daily questions that you can use as you go through your week when you're practicing your awareness to get you set. This is what we do every Monday morning in our Align community, every Monday at 7 a.m. This is what we do. And so I want to give you these 2 questions to ask yourself after your awareness to keep you on track. The first one is, again, it gets back to that one thing. I know that if I came to your office right now, you have a list somewhere that has about 22 things on it that you need to get done. But here, I want you to focus more on 1 to 3 things, because in my experience and the research, you can only do about 3 major things a day. So here's the first question. What is the one action? See, it's an action. You got to take action. You got to have movement. What's the one action I can take to be more invested in what matters most to me today? Today, not tomorrow, not next week. What is the one action that I can take to be more invested? I'm fully leaning into this. I'm going to invest in it so that it gives back dividends that I can do today. You know, it might be exercise. It might be, you know what, to be more invested in my health, to be a better leader, to be a better entrepreneur, I need to get out and start exercising first thing in the morning. I need to move my body, because see, our health, how we move our bodies, the food we're ingesting, the wellness supplements we're taking, this is all part and parcel of being a leader, right? You can't sit at your desk all day long, because it just will not help your health, and we need to have good health. But that's another masterclass for another time. So what's that one action? The other question that my clients and my members ask every day is, and this is in the Finding Joy Planner, there's a whole section on this every day, and whoever's going to win this, you're going to see that in a few minutes. What are my top 3 high value priorities? What are my top 3 high value priorities for today? Not 5, not 10, not 20. What are my top 3 high value priorities? What is a high value priority? It's the thing that's going to make the most impact. It's the thing that's going to move that needle forward towards your goals, right? What are those top 3 high value priorities? And that's in the planner. I ask myself that every day, because I know that I cannot do everything every day. And one of the questions I ask myself, one of the things I say, it's a quote from Mark Twain. I believe it's from Mark Twain. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is eat a frog for breakfast. I love that quote. Eat a frog for breakfast. What the heck does that mean anyway? It means that do the hardest thing first. Do the hardest thing first. Practice your awareness, because that can be hard sometimes, right? Because you want to scroll through social media. You want to look at your emails, but practice your awareness first. That's my frog. I do that first every single morning. Or it might be, making that phone call to someone who could connect you to someone fantastic. Okay, great. Now, all right, here we are. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening tomorrow, but first I want to pick a winner. I want to pick a winner today. Everybody has been so, I love this. Everybody has been so on it when it comes to the comments. I've loved everybody's comments today. So let me look through here. I don't know what my team has to say about this, but I'm going to go ahead and choose. And I'm going to do something. They don't even know this. I've decided I'm going to give away, instead of one, we're going to have 2 giveaways today. Okay, 2 giveaways. And the first person that's going to receive one of our Finding Joy Everyday Planners, Own Your Morning, Own Your Day, is, hang on here, is Sherry Walter of Toledo, Ohio. Sherry Walter, you're going to receive one of our Finding Joy Everyday Planners. You've been so great in the comments today. I have loved all your comments. And I'm going to give another planner today to Katja Berry. Katja's dialing in from Germany every day. I don't know, what time is it there, Katja? I know it's evening time, so she's taking a break from her evening activities to join us. She was here yesterday. She's here today. She commented yesterday. So I want to give another one to Katja. We're so happy to have you here. And so those 2. So what you need to do is Kathy will be in touch. We'll be in touch with you. All right. So to get those to you, we'll need to get your mailing address. So we'll make sure that happens. And oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. And we have more giveaways coming tomorrow, but you got to be here to win. Everybody, please be here tomorrow, but don't leave me yet. Let's talk about tomorrow, and let's talk about your Finding Joy focused activity. So tomorrow is going to be another exciting day. Why? Because yesterday we practiced our awareness. We took a deep dive there. Number 2 is today we looked at the essential questions, right? We looked at those deeper questions and the daily questions that we need to ask ourselves, right? That's important, those 2 things. Tomorrow, we start to get ready to put it all into action. Remember, we're going to be here for 3 more days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So tomorrow, we're going to create a vision for what matters most. Tomorrow, I want you to come with your vision hats on, visioning, dreaming, all the things you want to happen. I want you to come with that hat on. And your Finding Joy focused activity is going to help you do that. It's going to help you get ready for that. And I've decided I'm going to do a little bonus session. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to create our vision for what matters most in our business. And then on, of course, Thursday, we're going to start to put it all into our 90-day plan of action. I'm going to walk you through step by step. How do you create a plan of action that actually works, that actually happens? How many times have you written down goals and it's just never happens? That's not going to happen this time. I promise you. It's going to happen this time. So tomorrow's a creative vision. I'm going to do a special session. My team doesn't even know this. I've just decided to do it. If you can join me, if you can't, it's okay. But for those of you that you want to join me, tomorrow morning, I'm going to go live in our Facebook group, our private Facebook group. And I am going to be there for 15 minutes, 10, 15. And the first 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through practicing stillness. The second 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through your journal prompt. And your journal prompt for tomorrow, which Lynn will also be sending out in your replay email, is I freaking rock because. That's your journal prompt for tomorrow. You'll practice 5 minutes of stillness, and then you're going to set the timer for 5 more minutes, and you're going to write, I freaking rock because. And I want you to list everything you've ever done in your whole life why you should rock, because every one of you rock so much. But I'm going to be in the Facebook group, and I'll walk you through this. If you can't make it, please just take the time and do it on your own. That works just as well. But I've just decided to do this little bonus session. So we're going to do 5 minutes of stillness, 5 minutes of journaling on I freaking rock because I'm the greatest, right? I don't know what you're going to say, but you are the greatest. I think you're the greatest. And then, we'll open it up. If anybody has any questions, comments in the Facebook group, and then we're going to leave 15 minutes max. And then, of course, I'll see you back here tomorrow at 12 noon for our next class on creating a vision, your intention, your mission, what you want to happen next. Now's the time, ladies. We are squarely in the middle of 2022. I want to see you guys take the next 6 months and really just rock it, knock it out of the park, and just accomplish everything you want so that when you hit 2023, you are ready to go to even a higher level of success. All right. So let me just look through here. What else? We've got, again, more giveaways tomorrow. You've got your journal prompt. What time to meet in the Facebook group, Sherry? 7 a.m. PT, 7 a.m. Pacific, 7 a.m. Pacific in the private Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group yet, the private Facebook Facebook group. Can you tell I'm getting tongue-tied? Please reach out to the team. They can get you in because you have to be let in because it's a private group. Please, a lot of you are in it already, but please be there, 7 a.m. PT. I'll be there. Now, I probably won't look like this because, it's 7 a.m., but I'll be there. All right. So come as you are. So I'll see you there. If not, you can do this on your own time, but please do it before the class tomorrow. If you don't join me, make sure you do your 5 minutes of stillness. You do your 5 minutes of I freaking rock because, and I'm going to see you here tomorrow at 12 p.m. PT, and we're going to talk about that vision. Bring your big ideas, practice that awareness, be ready, dig deep, find out what it is you really want to happen in your business. And I want to hear from you tomorrow because we're going to have the giveaways. Okay. All right. Listen, thank you for all your comments. Mickey, thank you for congratulating our winners. Mickey's one of our longtime Align members, as is Gail, as is Michelle, longtime members. And as you can just tell from watching their comments, positive people. This is what we attract here at Finding Joy every day. And it's just an incredible group. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. Thanks for putting that in, 7 a.m. PT. And I'll see you then. Any questions, reach out in the Facebook group. Reach out to Kathy, reach out to the team. We're here for you. We're here for you. We want to help you. We want to see you take this class and really soar with it this week. Okay? All right. Be well. Stay aligned. Find your joy.